Good evening, and welcome to Bring It to the Table. Let me introduce myself. I am Miss Gigi. I like to first introduce myself to the Accelerated Radio family, friends, and hopefully new friends, Yikes, Apple, and iHeart, and also Google Podcasts. I like to begin my story by saying tonight it's all about your host, Miss Gigi, and her mystical journey. So come to the table with me as I take you on a journey of my life and how I made it over. I was born and raised here in Los Angeles, California. Graduated from Dorsey High School. Yes, I'm a Dorsey Don. Went to Southwest College. Majored in early childhood development. And also had a degree in business administration. My mother decided early on to put me in dancing school. And I started taking tap and ballet at the age of 3, turned professionally at 12. But I asked my mother, why do I have to go to dancing school? And she said, because I refuse to have any fat children on my watch. And I said, Mommy, fat? She said, yes. Well, I had legs like lampposts. So remember, I want you to come to the table now because I'm talking about a journey. So as I went through this journey of tap, ballet, and jazz, and all of those things. At 12, I started teaching, and I turned professional, not knowing what I was going to do as I got older. But I saw something that I enjoyed doing, and that was dancing. So I said, wait, my mother have something. Maybe she know a little something here. And that was the main reason why she stuck me in dancing school. But as I traveled on through the dance classes, I took acting classes at Jackson Motion Picture Company. I started modeling. And then all of a sudden, I didn't think that was something I wanted to do. But I did not want to tell my mother that, so I kept on. Then I wind up with a family. I got married, and the Lord blessed me with a bouncing baby boy. But I still danced until I was 5.5 months pregnant. And life was good at that time. I enjoyed it. But even at that, I was still taking dance classes, and I was still on that journey of dancing and acting. And all of a sudden, a phone call came in, and it was from this lady by the name of Robbie Preston, which was Billy Preston's mother. And she asked me, she says, how would you like to go on the road with Billy Preston? I said, wow, okay. I would love to go on the road with Billy Preston. I knew I could dance, and that's what he wanted as being a part of his show. So I did. And from there, I had the chance of meeting different type of celebrities. And so I thought I was on the high road. But as that went through and things went okay, and we came off the road and I was at home, and I got another phone call to attend an audition for the Lon Fontaine dancers. And I did, and that worked out just fine. Because now, not only am I the Lon Fontaine dancers, but now I'm able to travel and work with Ray Charles. I said, wow, Ray Charles. So that was another highlight for me. So I worked with Ray and traveled, and all of a sudden now it's 9 months, and he's saying, okay, I want you all to take some time off because I'm going to take the Raelettes to Europe, and I'll pick the dancers back up after. But in the meantime, I'm back with Billy Preston for a short time, and I meet Lola Falana, and I meet Sammy Davis Jr. I meet all these celebrities. And I said it was okay. So now, again, this job is ended in Lake Tahoe and Reno with Billy, and I go back home. Now I get another phone call from a man by the name of Murphy, and his last name I believe was Bennett at that time, Murphy Bennett. Bernard Wilson, I'm sorry. And Bernard says, may I speak to this Gloria Gamble? And I said, speaking. He says, well, if you can find the time, Sammy Davis Jr. would like for you to come to his home because he would like to talk to you. And so I says to my mother, Sammy Davis Jr. wants to talk to me. She says, well, he can't only talk to you, he has to talk to me too. So I said, okay. So we made the appointment, and we go to Sammy Davis Jr.'s house, and he says to my mother and me, I would like for her to work with my show for a short time. And my mother said, well, you know, I've always been a backstage mother, so are you willing to take me too? He said, well, no, you know, but what I will do, I will take good care of her. And so she said, okay. So now I'm taking a flight a little higher. I'm traveling, I'm working, I'm dancing with Mr. Sammy Davis Jr. And at this time, I'm only at the age of 20. So again, I'm flying high. And I'm enjoying, because now I'm on an airplane to Las Vegas. Never been in a plane really until I had the chance to fly in the plane that Ray Charles owned. But we had not gone to Vegas, so therefore I didn't see the big bright lights. Oh, it was like being in a candy store. And I loved it. I said, wow. So now I'm working with Sammy Davis Jr. I'm having a good time, a great time. Now I'm performing at the Apollo Theater, Carnegie Hall. Yes, Carnegie Hall. The Copacabana. All these places that a little 20-year-old never would dream of. And especially traveling and seeing the world through the eyes of wow. And that's what it was, the eyes of wow. So now my birthday is coming up, and I'm making that sweet age of 21. So Sammy gives me my birthday party in Las Vegas. And he picks up the telephone. There's something about these telephone calls. He calls my mother, and he says to her, I told you I was going to take care of her. Now she's 21, and I'm going to rename her Gigi, and we're going to spell it G-I-G-I. So that's how the name Gigi became a part of me. It was like the world's greatest entertainer has given me another name. Wow. My heart beats, because who at 21 years old, a little girl, chocolate girl from the other side of town, would be renamed by a man of that caliber? I wouldn't have never thought it, wouldn't have never dreamed it, but it happened. And it's been a part of me, I have to say, half of my life now. I've tried to get rid of it, but every time I do, it comes right back, because somebody says, hey, Gigi, Gigi, Gigi. So it lets me know that it's supposed to stay, and I am Miss Gigi. I'm going to take a minute, and I'm going to say if anyone would love to call in, the request line is 910 9676, extension 1. Again, 310 910 9676, extension 1. So now I'm working, I'm dancing, I'm having a great time. And I'm bringing myself to the table now. And I'm going to open up and be real with you. So call in and ask me any kind of questions you want, and I'm going to answer them. So as I said, I'm being real. Now I'm traveling, I'm working with the world's best, I'm seeing people, I'm meeting people, and yes, I'm dating high profile gentlemen, and I'm having a great time. And where do I go from there? Is to say, life was good. Life was good. So now, Sammy says to me, since I have renamed you, Gigi, now I am going to take you a step higher. I'm going to let you be the captain of my dancers. So now I'm the captain of the ship. So I'm enjoying that. The captain of the ship. Again, never thought a little girl like me that was put in dancing school at the age of 3 because she had legs like lampposts would wind up being the captain of the ship for the world's greatest entertainer, Mr. Sammy Davis Jr. So now that I'm the captain and the dancers, and we're working. We're in Vegas, we're in Europe, I'm in London, I'm in Paris. Now I'm on the Tom Jones Show with Mr. Sammy Davis Jr. and Altavise. Again, life is good. So you don't think of anything else that's going to interfere or come into your life that's going to put you at a standstill, or open up another chapter and say, wow, why me? That happened because now I'm home, off the road, and I'm going to fast forward. I'm off the road, enjoying my family, and my mother and my father. We're all having a great time. My family, my sisters, we're having a great time. Christmas, holidays, everybody's at the big house with mom and dad. Here comes that win that you don't even expect to happen. I lose my father. So now grief has hit me. What do I do? How do I do something that I wasn't expected, or my family, we weren't expected to happen, but it happened. Now I have another chapter, so I've got to do something else, because now we're not going back on the road. Sammy is getting sick, so now my life is turning. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? That's the reason why it's always good to have something to fall back on in a career, so that if A falls by the wayside and don't work, you can go to B and pray that that works. So B did work. So I started taking care of children, and I enjoyed that, but it wasn't fulfilling for me because, again, I had traveled the world. I was on stage, bright lights, big city, and just a trembling of a feeling that you get when you're on stage and the lights and the people are loving you. And when you get off stage, not only are they asking for Sammy Davis Jr. autograph, but they're asking for Miss Gigi's autograph. I enjoyed that. Didn't have to stand in line when I wanted to go to a theater. Lines could be a mile long, but I didn't have to stand in line because I was Miss Gigi with the Sammy Davis Jr. show. So therefore, the doors was automatically opened. So I could just walk through without any trouble. I could go to see any shows, have front row seats, and it was good. Again, life was good. Now, 2 weeks later, after losing my father, I lose my mother. Wow. 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 Grief. Now, remember, on the table here, we have legs like a lamppost. We have grief. I'm going somewhere with this, so stay with me. So now, what am I going to do? My mom and my dad, my rock, is gone. I had to find something else to do because now Sammy Davis Jr. is sick. So we're not traveling anymore. We're not dancing anymore. We're not doing those things anymore. So now where do Gigi go from there? Now I'm hit with surgery with a tumor in the chest wall. So now I got cancer. Wow. Breathtaking. Didn't smoke. Didn't do any of those things. But I've got cancer now. So now on the table is legs like a lamppost, is grief, and now it's cancer. It's on the table here. I come through that. And now what am I going to do for us again? Can't go back out on the road. There's no more dating the high-profile gentleman. It's no more of those things. And those that I did date, they were there, but they were not there because the fun had stopped. Now what do you do? So I go from there to finding myself. Hit again with a tumor in the ankle. Lord, what is it? It's a low-grade cancer. So now I got to figure out, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? I have radiation. It heals for a moment. So now I'm back walking. I'm back traveling again. But this time, I'm on the back end. I'm at Sony Motion Picture Company. And I'm working with two top producers and directors, Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich of Independence Day, Godzilla, and The Patriot. Wow, I'm back. But I'm behind the scene. But I'm back. So now I'm meeting Will Smith. I'm back in my element that I like so much. After these movies, now we're in Madison Square Gardens at the premiere. I'm rocking. Hey, I'm rocking. Cause girlfriend is in her element. I'm rocking now. I'm rocking. Rocking with some old friends. Isaac Hayes. Barry White. Just to name a few. But I'm rocking. Because before this, I was rocking with the best, hanging out with the best. Elvis Presley, attend his wedding. Girlfriend was on high, okay? And on high, not with alcohol and not with drugs, but on a spiritual, natural high. So I'm rocking. But as I'm rocking, I'm limping because this ankle is giving me the blues, but I refuse to give in to it. But I'm rocking. So I'm having a good time. I'm in New York and at Madison Square Gardens. And now on our way back home, I get hit again. So now I find myself out at UCLA in the hyperbaric chamber where I did 37 treatments trying to get this ankle to heal. But I didn't give up. I still rocked because there were still things to do, places to go, people to see. Now it's coming to the point where I can't hold it. I can't hold that pain. I can't hold that ache anymore because I've gone from the walking cane to the crutches. Can't do it. So I find myself unexpectedly now, had no idea that I was going to have to call a doctor that I didn't even think knew anything about helping me with this ankle. I wind up in the hospital at St. Vincent's with the surgeon telling me that he's going to save my life. I said, what do you mean you're going to save my life? He said, I'm going to save your life. So you're going to stay in the hospital and I am going to amputate your right leg. I said, hold up. He says, I'm going to save your life. I said, well, you got to wait. I've got to call my son. He said, your son and family will see you when you come out of surgery. But prior to that, when I got to the hospital, I had called my niece and told her I was in the hospital. So she came over, and that's how she called my son. And next thing I know, I'm being rolled in to surgery, but I see him coming down. I see my son coming in, and I get a chance to talk to him for a few minutes. I said, but that's all I could do. I said, but I couldn't do no more. So I'm in surgery, having an amputation of the right leg. And when I came out of surgery, the surgeon said to me, I had to take not just the ankle, but I had to take it up and make you a BK below the knee amputee. I'm saying, oh my God. Mind you now, I'm a dancer. I'm a dancer. Everything flashback, ballet, tap, acrobat, modern dance. How can I do these things now? I can't. This is what's going on in my mind. I can't. So I had to accept that. And from there, the surgeon says to me, you gonna be okay? And I'm saying, how you gonna tell me I'm gonna be okay? You have 2 legs, 2 arms. You can walk in and out, hold somebody if you want to hold them with both arms. I can hold somebody with both arms, but I sure can't walk in and out with 2 legs because now you've just taken one. But even with that, life still was sweet and life still goes on. So now I didn't give up the name Gigi. I kept it because it was a part of me. It's my life. So from there, it became a new chapter. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I adjust? Do I feel sorry for myself? Do I become angry? I didn't feel sorry for myself, but I was angry. It was okay to be angry, but it wasn't okay for me to stay there, and I didn't. I didn't stay angry. I had to reinvent myself and know that there was something for me to do. Even with losing the right leg, it was still something for me to do. I just had to be still and wait on the Lord to show me what it is that He would have for me to do. And with that, I felt a little comfort. Not a lot, but I felt a little bit. And it was okay for me to feel a little bit and not a lot. Because now I have a new life. I can't do some things that I used to do and enjoyed doing. So I thought. But with all of that, I'm still able to keep my head up and sit back to reinvent. So now I'm looking at the people that I used to be in and out with, hanging out with. I'm looking at the guys I used to date. Am I too embarrassed to let them know what happened? Or do I stand and say, hey, the outside may look one way, but the inside is still the same warm and loving person that you cared for? So I had to think about it. I had to think about what direction, how to go, what to do, and how to feel. Because we as women look at the outer beauty and not the inward. When we lose a limb, when we lose, whether it's a breast or leg or arm, we go to another level of thinking. So as I bring this to the table, I bring to the table also the goodness of coming out of that loneliness, that feeling sorry, that feeling that you're not beautiful or that you still don't look good. Bring all of that to the table so that when you bring it to the table and when you really look at it, you're still above ground. And there are things you still can do. And I say that because I didn't start playing tennis until I became an amputee. Yes, I play tennis. And I'm good at it. So there are things that you can still do that you didn't think you could do. There are things that you may have thought about doing before such things happen, and you want to put it on the back burner. But you don't have to. You can do it. I had the choice of playing tennis with two legs, but I didn't choose to do that. My friends had tennis court. My son took tennis lessons. I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to play tennis. I didn't want nothing to do with tennis. But now, I enjoy it. Can't wait to get back and start playing. So, you can do some things. You can have a life. as we do know, life goes on, but you can still have one. You can still have one. All is well and all is good.